Old dog boxing, motherfucker.
A post on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, from a reporter named Michael Woods region, I quote, June looks likely for one-off, who's Lamont Roach, versus Gervonta rematch. Now, is it a Las Vegas fight? Money talks. But being that the first one sold out in New York and both guys are from Eastern US, ideally it lands on the East Coast. In my opinion, I am here, LOL, so my bias is clear, end quote. So the rematch is supposed to be taking place in June. And from the looks of the first fight, Lamont Roach is going to need a knockout in order to leave with that championship belt. Because not only was Lamont Roach a huge underdog heading into that first fight, but when he won fair and square, they refused to give Lamont Roach his win that he earned. Not only did Lamont Roach win that fight fair and square, but Gervonta Davis also proved to Lamont Roach and the entire world that Gervonta Davis can and he will cheat and get away with it. The referee, the New York Athletic Commission, and the entire sport of boxing prove that they will bend the rules to protect and defend Gervonta Davis. So if Lamont Roach took anything away from that first fight with Tank Davis, then it should be that in order to win, he's going to need a knockout because he's not going to get a fair ruling on the scorecards. See, it's almost like when it comes to Gervonta Davis, it's not boxing anymore. You're playing the Gervonta Tank Davis game because the rules and the regulations don't apply for Tank Davis, but they do for his opposition. Like for example, if it was Lamont Roach that just out of nowhere took a knee after getting pieced up, do you think that the referee would have just stopped counting for Lamont Roach? Of course not. The referee would have counted all the way up to 8 or 9. And the judges would have scored it a 10-8 round in favor of Gervonta Davis. But what if, let's say Lamont Roach had stuck his head out of the ring to have his face wiped off by his coach? You think that Lamont Roach wouldn't have been disqualified? Of course he would have been disqualified. But for Gervonta Davis, he gets to do whatever he likes without no consequences. That's what I mean by this is not a sport. When Tank Davis fights, it's not the sport of boxing anymore. When Tank Davis fights, it is the Gervonta Tank Davis game. And we make the rules as we go along. But you really can't be mad at Gervonta Davis for having it this good, though. You want to blame someone, blame the referee. Blame the judges. Blame the New York Athletic Commission. Because they're the ones that let him get away with all the bullshit. And let's talk about the bullshit reason or the excuse that he used for having the fight stopped. He said that he had got hair grease in his eyes, and that's why his eyes were burning. But here's why his excuse is also unacceptable, because by Gervonta Davis bringing in some super strong hair grease into the ring, and it's so strong that it blinds a person, then wouldn't that be putting the opposition, Lamont Roach, in danger as well? Why isn't anybody talking about the fact that by Gervonta Davis bringing in some super strong hair grease into the ring that could have blinded Lamont Roach as well and caused him the fight? Why isn't anybody talking or speaking about that? It's just some food for thought, because honestly, I think it's bullshit. I don't think that Tank Davis's eyes were burning or nothing like that. What I think happened is he was just getting pieced up, and he seen that he hit Lamont Roach with his best shots, but Lamont Roach kept coming forward. Tank Davis panicked. He took a knee. He ran to the corner and was like, "Daddy!" But the craziest part for me was when the Tankamaniacs went after Gervonta Davis' hairstylist. It's like, the hell's the matter with y'all, man? That's a female. But even that part went bad for Gervonta Davis and his radical ass fan base, because she came out and said, I did Gervonta Davis' hair on a Wednesday. There's no reason why the hair product that I use on Wednesday should be having an effect on your vision on Saturday. You know, she even said, come on, man, stop the cap. But it is what it is, and it was what it was. So if I'm Lamont Roach and I'm training, then I'm training to get the knockout, because it's the only way Lamont Roach is going to win this fight. But I will talk about this fight more in another video as this fight date approaches. But now I want to pivot on to something else. It's still relevant, I mean, because we're still, I'm still going to talk about Gervonta Davis. But first, I need you to watch this video, and then we'll break it down afterwards.
Personally, me, especially knowing what has been said about Gervonta behind the scenes for years that nobody brings out, and it kind of brings to light why they keep matching him with 15 and 20 to 1 underdogs. There is a rumor that behind the scenes, the Gervonta, there's a lot of bitch in him. There's a lot of front runner in him. If you push him, he will break, he will fold. It starts to add up because Lamont is from the D.C. area. They kind of know this. They grew up around him. They fought in the amateurs.
His father, who's his coach, has coached Gervonta in fights.
So that thing sort of comes to light where it's been held back from the public with the limited opposition level that Gervonta's fought most of his career. So having said that, you don't want to start too fast. You want to measure your pressure and bring it out, because you know already what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a guy that you know you'll bring the bitch out of him as the fight wears on. And you kind of started seeing that Gervonta fouling. There's an interpretation that he was trying to bite at one time. I don't really see it. I've seen a lot of people in the comments saying he was trying to bite at one time.
Shoulder strike.
Then the taking the,
okay, all right,
the knee and whatnot.
So for those who don't know who the man calling Gervonta Davis a bitch is, this is Pauli Malignaggi. He's a former world champion and now a boxing analyst on ProBox. Now, the reason I showed you guys this clip is because when I first seen this clip on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, and I seen a lot of people leaving comments in the comment section saying things like, oh, I can't believe Pauli Malignaggi would say something like that, and he's such a hater, and this and that, just acting surprised, right? But all I could say to you guys is, you guys are slow, bro. Like, I could have told you guys that this guy Gervonta Davis has a lot of bitch in him. I could have told you that since the time I seen him carrying around purses, and the way he dresses, and his acrylic fingernails, the way he avoids all the top opposition. He's been avoiding Lomachenko since 2017, but as soon as he sees Lomachenko talking about retirement, he's 36, 37, oh, now you want to tweet about fighting Loma. That's a bitch move. Avoiding Devin Haney when Devin Haney was calling you out at 135. Never fighting Teofimo when Teofimo was calling you all kinds of bitches and pussies, and putting rehydration clauses on fighters. Oh yeah, that's all bitch made ass shit, man. Bitch made activity, Avoiding guys like Shakur Stevenson, and then when reporters ask you about Shakur Stevenson, you throw a whole hissy fit. That's some bitch ass shit, man. Never in 50-50 fights, never unified, and every time you fight somebody you gotta have an upper hand or an advantage. That's all bitch ass shit, man. So yeah, man, it's about time that this is coming out in the light. It's about time the mainstream media catches up and starts telling the truth. Because, hey, man, it's not hate. It's just the facts. Anyways, guys, I just thought I'd share that with you. I found it rather interesting. But that's all I got for this one, man. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section, man. Let's chop it up, man. Let's talk some. This is Boxing Man, and you already know. Once again, this has been your boy O Dog Boxing, and I'm out this bitch.